Okay, so we're going to work on Charlie's recall because he comes when he feels like coming. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start out. I always hold the treat in about this position of my hand with a flat hand, slightly cupped, but pretty much flat. Now I'm going to have you show me a 90-degree. There we go. And do you have any treats left? Okay, so let me give you a couple treats. There we go. So let's hold one out and then say C-O-M-E.
Come.
And now, there we go. Now lower it and say come the second it touches his lips, and scratch him under his chin at the same time. So you said come a little bit early. We want to say at the same time the treat is delivered. Let's put it to the side now. Charlie, come. Charlie. Come. So eventually he'll just get used to us petting him under his chin, but when his nose is in the air, he feels good about himself. All right, go. Let's offer him again another one.
Come.
90-degree. Lower your hand. There you go. Now raise it. That's where we would try to raise it to put him in a sit. He's not used to that, so go ahead and put it. There we go. Now we're going to say come.
Come.
Now that's all right. Even though he actually did sit, what we're trying to condition him to do is come. So once you practice the petting with a purpose, after a while, sitting will be second nature for him. See if I can try it. Charlie, come. Come. Now, when we first started doing this a couple minutes ago, Charlie would not come to me. I had to put a treat on the floor halfway between me and him to get him to come. So what we want to do is start out with a small circle, or a triangle in this case. So one person sitting there, I'm sitting in the chair here. Maybe somebody else sits on that far corner there, and somebody else could sit in the chair here if all four of you participate. You want to have at least 3 people to do it. Otherwise, the dog just starts pogoing back and forth. And I would have one person in charge. So maybe one of your sons is in charge, and he gets to say mom, and then mom calls him. Otherwise, we get 2 people calling at the same time. It confuses the dog. Now, if he comes to you and you didn't have anything for him, I'm going to have you cross your arms across your chest and then look up to the side. Tilt your head way up. There you go. I call this being a bad Mexican soap opera actor, but what we want to do is become completely uninteresting for him while the other person's calling him. So you're shunning him by crossing your arms and looking away. You're giving him as clear a communication as possible. There's nothing here for you, but somebody else will pay you. So at first, what we want to do is we want to practice it kind of in the living room here in this area. Then eventually, we want to have maybe one person go to one of those chairs over there, and then eventually, and practice that a couple times until he's good. Then we have another. Then we recreate it, and then somebody's in there as well as somebody being way over there. So we're gradually going to make this circle bigger and bigger so that he has to progress beyond line of sight. Then the next step would be to go out and do it where you're all in different rooms, and then eventually the next step would be go out to your balcony or your patio. Now I'd block the stairs so we can't go to the stairs and do a small circle out there, because when you're outside there's a lot of smells, a lot of sights, a lot of sounds, there's a lot of distractions. Keep on practicing it there until he's reliable. He comes and he sits in front of whoever, whether we give him the treat. Again, we're only going to say the command word one time. If he doesn't respond, then we're going to make a kissing sound like, and then we're going to lower our hand all the way to the floor if we have to, as soon as he starts looking at us. That's why we start with a 90-degree bend at our elbow, so we can go up and down as we need to. Okay. Now, once he comes to us, we lower our hand, and then when he gets to us, we kind of raise our hand over his head in kind of an arcing fashion. Start out in front of his nose and go over his head and towards his butt to put his butt down the ground. As soon as he sits, then we lower our hand, let him lick it off, and the same second he licks it off, we want to say the word come, not sit, and we're going to tickle him under his chin. Now, what I would do it is on your back patio, do that a couple times just on the deck, and then eventually do it in the yard. And then you gradually make the circle bigger and bigger in the yard. Okay. So this way we condition him that no matter where you are, if you stop what you're doing to come to a human, there's a benefit for you. This will help because, right now he wants to run away because it's the forbidden fruit. Well, instead of running away when I don't know what I'm going to get, if I come to somebody who calls me, I know I'm getting paid. So when you're doing this, make sure that while you're practicing this, until you get to the point where you can be on the far sides of the yard, that he gets a treat every time he comes to you. Then after that, then I practice, and that's why I like to scratch under the chin, because eventually that chin scratch is going to be analogous to getting the treat. That's why we have to do it at the same time, so that he associates that with getting the treat. And it's a little reward with love.
Okay.
So that's basically how I would teach him to recall. Now, I would really practice this like once or twice a day for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, don't do it too long. Everybody should have maybe 4 to 8 treats each. And so you don't want the exercise to last longer than about 5 minutes, and always end on a good one. We want to make sure the last memory he has of the activity was a positive. Right, Charlie?